All right, happy Mobility Sunday, everybody. Today, it's going to be a little bit more on our feet than it's been in the past. So, if you need to set up near a wall, a chair, something that helps you in more warrior poses to balance, by all means, go ahead, pause this video, grab that. And if you need any other props, you're welcome to it. I'm not going to be using any, but if you know for your body that there are some you need, go ahead, get that now. And let's make our way down to our mat, finding a child's pose. So toes together, knees apart, and just stretching the arms in front of our body here, really finding this nice deep stretch. Bringing the forehead towards the floor. If you have a block or pillow, you can maybe raise the forehead, or excuse me, the floor up to your forehead. Really sinking the heels and hips closer together, feeling that spine elongate, maybe pushing down into the hands, keeping the shoulders down the back. And just finding this length as the sits bones stretch towards the heels, the fingers stretch towards the top of the mat, and then just allowing yourself in this position to close down the eyes, turning into the breath. Noticing how in this shape, on each inhale, that belly fills between the legs, and on the exhale, the belly draws in. Seeing if we can bring a little bit of gentleness and space here to the back line, to the hips, the shoulders. Maybe rock your forehead side to side, massaging out that third eye, just sort of decluttering any mental tension here. And seeing just how heavy your body can get in this position. Beautiful. On your next inhale, we're going to stretch the fingers forward and we're going to walk them over to the left side of the mat. So right arm comes on top of the left, anchoring down through that right sits bone. Really take a nice big breath into the belly and then into that right side rib cage, really opening up through that side body. Maybe opening the mouth, letting it out. Again, filling that belly, filling that side body. And then releasing with a sigh. Letting some of that noise travel through you, just clear that energy. One more big breath in here. And letting it go. Reaching those fingers forward on your next inhale, coming up and across that mat. Right side, we stretch that left arm up and over across to the right. We anchor down to that left sits bone. And we take another full breath into the belly, into the rib cage. And then exhale, let it go. Again, fill the belly with air. Fill that side body, get that big stretch, lots of expanse in the torso today. Exhale, let it go. One more big inhale through the belly, in through the ribs, and sigh it out. Stretching the fingers on your next inhale, walking it back into that forward fold. One more big breath here, just seeing if we hang a little heavier. And then on your next inhale, start to pull yourself into that tabletop position. Just taking a second here to arrive, maybe circling out the wrists, stacking shoulders over those wrists, swaying side to side, just arriving in this new shape. Gripping nice and actively through the hands. Let's go ahead and take a series of cat-cows. Inhale, we drop the belly, we lift the heart. Exhale, squeeze the sits bones down, rolling one vertebra at a time. And again, inhale, lift the sits bones, shoulders roll back, hands and knees pull together. And exhale, squeeze the glutes, rolling one vertebra at a time. Taking the next 20-ish seconds here, a couple of breaths to just start exploring other shapes in this position. Rolling through the spine, maybe flipping a wrist, rest, maybe shifting back to the seat again, whatever feels good here. Starting just to sort of wake up in that spine, get a little bit of mobility. Beautiful. Coming back to that tabletop in 3, 2, nice active hands rather. Plug the sits bones underneath your body so you've got that nice flat back. Plug the toes under and just a little hover of the knee. So shoulders down the back, little hover in this position. If you need to, you can lift and lower. The goal is to really keep plugging the sits bone under, really turning on through that trunk. Beautiful. Nicely done, team, for 4, for 3, 2, and lower. Nicely done. We're going to take little side to side bends here. So I'm going to send my ribs to the right, and I'm going to crunch my shoulders and my hips towards each other on the left side. And then I'm going to go other direction, bowing my ribs over to the left, crunching my shoulder and my hip together on the right. Again, always moving within a range of motion that's appropriate for your body. If a move never doesn't feel good, rather skip it, right? The trick in this one is keeping that core nice and active. Beautiful. One more each direction, and then go ahead, settle here. Beautiful. Taking one more little hover, I promise we're not going to stay here for long. Plug those sit bone or hip bones in, little hover in the legs, and then start to shift into a down dog. Taking space if you need, walking hands and feet apart, and just taking a second here. Big breath into the back of the legs. Maybe you're pedaling it out a little bit. Maybe you're focusing on shoulders down the back, chest to thighs. Beautiful. On your next inhale, you're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, and press your chest a little bit tighter in towards the thighs. Beautiful. And release the heels back down. Let's do that one more time. We lift the heels, bend at the knees slightly, and press the chest in, keeping shoulders out of the back, and release it down. Nicely done. Right leg lifts either to a hover, maybe all the way up to that 3-legged dog, and then we're going to take that knee all the way through our nose, stepping it between our hands, and we're going to lower that back leg down onto the floor, finding a lunge here. Keeping that back leg down, we're going to squeeze the boots up. Hands can be on the thighs, they can come to the hips, keeping of hip bones plugging together, finding that nice big stretch here in the front of that left leg. Inhale, stretch that left arm up. Maybe this is a perfect place to stay. If you'd like a little bit more, we're going to take left knuckles outside of that right thigh and then start to extend our right arm back. So we're creating a little bit of tension between the knuckles and the thigh. I'm continuing to squeeze through my right glute, and I'm just going to circle through my right wrist here, opening up to that joint. Other direction. Nicely done. Inhale, sweep the arms up, one big breath here. And then we're going to frame that front foot, and we're going to take it into a low hamstring stretch. So normally I have us stop our hips right over our knee. That's a perfect place to start. If you'd rather bring it all the way down, bum to foot, that works too. Again, your body is going to be different than my body, different than our neighbor's body. So just finding a stretch where we can support that hamstring. So again, other option, staying high and shifting that leg forward, or we're bringing the butt all the way down. Maybe we put a pillow under our glutes. Really flexing through that right leg here. Big breath in, tuck the chin, fill the belly, exhale, let it go. Just getting a little bit deeper into the top of the hamstring. Again, we never want to lock out at that knee. One more big breath here in. Exhale, whatever position you're in, we're going to rebend through that right leg, and we're going to heel toe it to the outside of the mat with a slight turn out. So my right toe is turned out at about a 45-degree angle. This is the perfect place to stay. If you'd like to get a little bit more into that hip flexor, or excuse me, into the hip, I'm going to drop through my right or left hand. I'm going to place my right hand inside my right thigh, and I'm just going to open gently. As I do, I'm squeezing down through that left hip bone, opening up. I want to make sure I never feel this in my low back, so I'm going to squeeze the butt to really protect myself here. Beautiful. Inhale, bring that right arm down to the floor, and we're just going to hold in lizard pose. For a lot of us, this is going to be the perfect place to stay. Shoulders back, take a breath. If we're feeling pretty mobile today, we might find ourselves down on those forearms. Again, no forcing ourselves into these positions, just finding where we're at today. Taking a couple big rounds of breath here, really opening up still into that hip flexor on the left side, but now into the inside of the hip on the right. Big breath in. Exhale, come up to the hands if you are on the forearms, heel toe that foot back to center. Plank down through your palms, lift up through the back knee, and send that right foot back, downward dog. We're gonna take that right leg and we're just gonna place it on the other side of our left leg. So a little crisscross, you might have to shorten your stance a little. Then we're just gonna send our heels down towards the floor and get a nice deep stretch in those calves. Again, your heels never have to touch the floor. Take whatever range of motion feels good. Just taking a nice deep breath in towards those Achilles, through both of those calf muscles. And then go ahead and unwind. Nicely done. Let's do one of those inhales through the heels, bend in the knees, press the chest a little bit closer, and then sink the heels back towards the floor. Inhale, send that left leg high or just a little hover. Big stretch here in the back of that right leg. Bend at the knee, send it through past the nose, stepping it between the palms and dropping through that right leg. Taking a second here to set up in that low lunge, really squeezing the glutes. Arriving hands on the thigh, hands on our hips. Squeeze through that right glute. If you're feeling pretty good here, right arm stretches up. Keep driving through that right hip. Come into the outside of the left leg with our right arm. Big stretch back with our left. Little circles through the wrist. Keep driving that right glute forward, other direction with those circles. Inhale, arms sweep up. Two options here. You can always keep your hips stacked on top of your knee and send your left foot forward, or start to send your hip bones back towards that right foot and find your low hamstring stretch here again. Try not to lock out at the knee. We never want to hold a stretch that makes us hold our breath, right? We want to be able to breathe nice and easy here. So listen to what your body needs today. Our body can feel very different in the same flow on different days. So just, again, allowing yourself to observe where you are at right now in this moment. Big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, starting to rebend through that left leg, heel toeing it out to the edge of that mat so that we're in that nice 45-degree angle. If you feel like it is an okay sensation for you, you're going to anchor down through that right arm, roll a little bit into that right hand, press the right left thigh into the left hand, and just open up through the hips. Again, I'm really squeezing through my right glutes and plugging my hip bones together. Shoulders down my back, making sure that I'm not in my low back here. Big hip opener in this one. So listen to what your body needs. You can always skip it. One more big breath here. Exhale, plant your left hand, taking it into lizard, shoulders roll down the back, open the heart like you're doing cat pose or cow pose. And then option, if you feel like you have the range of motion this morning, afternoon, or evening, to bring it down to the forearms. Again, really focusing on opening through the heart. So we're never rolling our chest forward. We want to think big space across the collarbones. Nice and down. One more big inhale here. Exhale, coming back to the hands. Heel toe that foot back to center. Plant down the hands, lift that back knee, step it back into your down dog. This time, left ankle crosses right. Taking a second in that calf stretch. Here again, adjusting your body as you need, skipping it if it doesn't feel great. Big breath in through the belly, open mouth, exhale, letting it go. On your next inhale, unwind the legs. This time we're going to lift the heels and we're going to tiptoe up to the top of that mat here. So feet can be wide to start, big bend in the legs. Maybe we're finding a little bit of a ragdoll. I'll go to the top of the mat. Good. Just swing side to side, tucking the chin, letting this feel really lovely. Take a peek, make sure that those feet are straight ahead. Big breath in, shift to the toes, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your eyes, drive through the glutes, arms sweeping up to the top. And exhale, let's come down through mountain pose, Tadasana. Close those eyes, shoulders down the back, thumbs at that heart space. Taking a second to really set up through the floor. So we lift all 10 of our toes and set them down one at a time, pinky all the way to big toe. Do that again, lift all 10 toes, setting down pinky all the way to big toe. Then we're going to grip the ground with our toes, and we're going to release. Little monkey toes, gripping the ground, and release. Beautiful. Then we move up. Notice if our quads can activate a little bit more without locking out the knees. Glutes squeezing tight, thinking of hip bones pulling together. Shoulders on top of hips and down the back. Ears in line with shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, letting it go. On your next inhale, we're going to start to shift the weight into our left foot, finding single leg mountain pose, reaching up through that right knee. This is a beautiful place to stay. If you feel like you have the stability today, we'll take exactly what we did on the floor. Left knuckles will go to the outside of the right thigh. Right arm is going to open up into that T. It always helps to look at something that's not moving, so don't look at me here. Big breath in, finding length from the floor all the way up to the crown of the head. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and we're going to step back into a high lunge. So taking a moment to step all the way back, nice deep bend in that front leg. Again, if any of this doesn't feel accessible to you today, go ahead and skip it or find a variation that works for you. Staying nice and high up in that lunge, big breath in. Arm stretch up. Exhale, start to send your hips back, arms sweep back behind us, airplane arms. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, stretch back to the ceiling. Exhale, sweep the arms back, squeeze the arms together, really feeling space in the chest. One more. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, arms sweep back. Beautiful. On your next inhale, arms are sweeping up and we're windmilling through to a warrior two. So take a second to set up those feet. My heel in the front is in line with the inside of my foot in the back. I'm thinking of pulling my feet together, energetically turning onto the thighs and opening up through that inner thigh. Big breath in here, eyes over the front hand. On your next exhale, legs are going to pull together. You're going to go nice and long stretch for the ceiling. Inhale, flying warrior two. Exhale, sweep the arms up, inner thighs pull together. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Nicely done. Hold, flip the front palm. Inhale, stretch it up and over, trying not to sink into the back. High five the back wall, finding reverse warrior. Beautiful. Big breath in. Exhale, spiral the arms forward, frame that front foot. Start to turn your left foot to face the front of your long distance of the mat. And we're just going to walk into this wide-legged forward fold. Taking a little second to shift side to side. Beautiful. And coming to center, walk the fingertips out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, sweeping the arms up, finding star pose with this nice, big, active, confident shape. Fingertips stretching out to the sides. Beautiful. Big breath in here. Exhale, bring the hands to center. If you want to grab your chair, you can. We're going to start to turn out through that left foot, and we're going to sit back into Skandasana. So we can either find a side lunge here. If range of motion allows, we can bring the glutes down to the floor, wherever you can be without hurting your knees or low back. Maybe you skip this and stay in star pose. Beautiful. Big breath in this new shape, stretching through the inner thigh. Exhale. One more big breath in. And exhale, making your way back up to star. Nicely done. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, start to dial your right foot forward. We're going to find warrior two on the other side. So we're dancing around our mat here. Think of heel and inner foot pulling together. Big breath in. Exhale, fly the warrior. Beautiful. Inhale, warrior two to the right. Again, think foot and arch pulling together. Exhale, up. Inhale, stretch the fingers, big space, opening through the chest, squeezing through the back. And inhale, warrior two, beautiful. Feet energetically pulling together, hand flips, tracing that right arm up and over like you're high-fiving the back wall. Beautiful. Inhale, sweeping the arms around, frame that foot. Start to turn the right foot back towards the front of your mat, finding that wide-legged forward fold, little bend in the knees, toes in slightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, this time root to rise. Sweep up, find that star. Again, this is the perfect place to stay. If you'd like to take Skandasana on this side, you can. Hands drop to heart. Right toe turns out, left toe turns out, and I start to sit back, maybe into a side lunge is perfect. Maybe we drop hips all the way down. Again, everybody's body is going to be different, finding whatever range works for you without having to force it here. Big breath in. Star pose is a beautiful place to stay. Exhale. Inhale. And then on your next exhale, everyone meeting back in that star pose. Big breath in, stretch your heart to the sky. Exhale, windmill the arms, turn that left foot forward, plant the feet, step back into your downward dog. Beautiful. Big breath in here. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the heels, tiptoe up to the top of your mat. Maybe toes come to touch, maybe we're still hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms sweeping up to the sky, pulling down through prayer, standing in mountain pose, shoulders roll down the back. Taking a second to set up, gripping through the monkey toes. Nice active quads, nice strong glutes, core is stacked, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Beautiful. This time we start to shift the weight into the right foot, lifting up through that left leg. Big breath in. This is a wonderful place to stay if you feel like you're ready for a little bit more. Right knuckles to the outside of the left thigh, opening left arm up to the back. Again, wherever we are today is perfect. It's going to look different day to day, body to body. Big breath in. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up, making your way back to a high lunge if that feels okay. Again, we can bring a chair to support us. We can skip it all together, maybe find star. Inhale, arms stretch high. Exhale, shift the hips back, stretch the arms back. We never want to feel this in the knee because we're really using the hips to squeeze forward with the glutes and to drive back, creating space in this shape. Again, inhale up, final time. Exhale, sweep those arms back. Beautiful. Inhale, dialing up through that warrior two, taking a moment to set up so that the heel of the foot and the inside of that arch are nice and in line. Big breath in. Exhale, fly the warrior just 2 times this time. Inhale, release. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, settle. Flip that palm. Big breath in. Exhale, up and over through to that warrior one, or excuse me, reverse warrior. Next inhale, we are windmilling the hands down. This time, we're starting in pyramid pose. So we're gonna walk our feet a little wider. Maybe we grab props to bring the floor to us. Both feet are straight ahead. Maybe we have to shorten the stance. I'm dialing back through my right hip, and I'm taking a big breath in, gas pedaling through that right foot, finding a big stretch in my right leg. Maybe I take a little bend, whatever my body needs. Big breath. Exhale, let it go. One more big breath in. Exhale, little bend. Start to walk your feet back to center. Let's meet in that forward fold. Bend in the knees if you need it. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, we're just going to hang heavy here. So really stretching through those hamstrings in this little round. Shifting side to side if you need it. Reaching back behind your mat. Whatever range of motion you have is perfect today. One more big breath in. Exhale, walk the fingers forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Use that core to support. Exhale, we're going to walk the hands over towards the left foot. Take a second to set up pyramid. So feet come a little wider like they're on train tracks, hip width distance. I take a nice big bend in my left leg if I need it, and I step my right leg in. And I'm finding this pyramid pose on the left side. Again, really finding that stretch up that left hamstring. Taking bends where I need, grabbing props if I need. Big breath in. Exhale, soften. One more big breath here. And on my next exhale, I'm going to flip my toes to the long side of my mat. Widen the stance just a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, coming up through that star pose. Beautiful, big stretch. Nicely done. Exhale, turning that left toe to face the top of the mat. Warrior two on the left side. Squeeze the inner thighs together as we stretch the arms up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. And inhale, lower. Nicely done. Windmilling those arms down, finding that wide fold. Walk it forward, toes in, all the way over to the right side into that nice high lunge. Then we're going to step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Nicely done. Big breath in, lift the heels. Exhale, soften them down. Inhale, lift the heels, eyes forward, tiptoeing the mat up, or excuse me, toes up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders down the back. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, send those arms up and over, bringing them down through mountain pose. Little bit of a balance challenge. We are going into our warrior three. Awesome place to stand just in that balance. So let's set it up. We're going shifting weight into that left leg, starting to lift up through the right. This perfect place to stay, right? Where you can just hang out right here. Otherwise, if we're feeling pretty rooted, we can go ahead and start sending our hips back. Maybe grab a chair in front of us and start to send that right leg back behind us. Big breath in. We can also take supported warrior three, fingers to the ground. Hands at that heart. Big breath in, feeling that balance. If you fall out of it, that's a-okay. Come back in. Beautiful. One more big breath here, and then we start to tip our hands down if they're not already there. Supported splits. Again, you can stay in your balance. We're not opening up at our hips, so it's not about how high we can go. We're just finding this little lean. Big breath in, and then exhale, take that right ankle behind the left. So now we have this forward fold, just like we did in our down dog. If it doesn't feel great, just do traditional forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, softening here. Really, really nice. Go ahead, unwind that foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and through center, coming down into that mountain pose. Let's do the exact same little balance flow. Other leg, rooting down through my right foot. I come up through my left leg. Again, wonderful option to stay here if you feel like you want to take the challenge, if you want to hold on to a wall, whatever you need. Hips lead as I send my left leg back, tipping my torso forward again. This is all in that right leg. Big breath in here, flexing the left foot. Think of lifting it a little higher than you want to. Shoulders down the back. Again, you can bring the palms to the or fingertips to the floor or to a prop if you want supported warrior three. We're here for three. Big breath in. Two. Exhale. And then bring the fingers down to a prop or the floor, starting to tip forward ever so slightly, finding that half splits. Again, feel free to skip all of this. Just find a forward fold. And then we'll take that left leg across the right, finding a little, little crisscross applesauce in this position, anchoring down through the foot, bending through the left leg and the right leg so we're not locking out of the knee joints. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, go ahead, bring the feet together, unwind, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweeping up to the sky. And exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Little quad stretch here. So we are welcome to grab a wall, whatever we need. We're going to kick the right heel, foot into the hand, squeeze the glute, and then pause here. Left arm can go up. It can hold on to a wall. We're squeezing the glute. We're pinching those knees together, and we're getting nice and tall through the hip bones here. We've done a lot of hamstring openings, so now we want to open through those quads, especially because a lot of times we blame tight hamstrings, but the truth is we actually have these really overactive hip flexors just from things like sitting throughout our day. If you'd like to try an dancer's pose, you'll take your palm and grab for the inside of your foot. Quad stretch is a perfect place to stay. Dancer's pose, we're kicking the foot into the hand and starting to reach forward as the leg comes up to that lift. Again, standing quad stretch is a perfect place to stay. Hugging that knee in center. Big breath in. Exhale, releasing whatever posture we had. Hug that right leg forward. Little circle through the ankle. Both directions. If it feels okay, we can go right ankle across left thigh. Again, holding on to a surface if you need. Sit back into figure four. Again, skip it if it doesn't feel great, especially if you're in the low back or knees. Big breath in. Exhale, letting it go. So strong. Shake out that leg. Shake out both the legs. We're almost done, team. You're doing beautiful. Kicking left heel in, or excuse me, left foot into left hand if it feels okay. Setting up standing hip flexor stretch. So we're squeezing the hip bones together. I'm squeezing my glutes and I'm feeling the stretch in the front of that left leg. Anchoring down to that right foot, opening up through the left shoulder. Again, perfect place to stay. If you have dancer in your practice and you'd like to try it, we're flipping the palm to the inside of the foot. This movement is initiated because I'm kicking my foot into my hand and lifting up through my leg. So the leg creates pressure in my palm, and that takes me into the shape, both hip bones down. Again, if you fall out of it, no problem. Don't put yourself in a dangerous position. One more big breath in, letting go of whatever shape you have, hugging that left knee into the chest, little circles through the ankle here. And again, if it feels good, let's take left ankle across right thigh, not on the knee joint, sitting back and down, weight in the heel so we're not in the knees in that little crisscross figure four. And coming on out of that, go ahead, shake it out. Beautiful work. Bringing it down to your seat. Send the legs nice and long here. Little shake out of the legs. And go ahead, let's take a nice wide butterfly. So turtle pose. Feet are away from my hips. I take a second to anchor down. Big breath in. And then exhale, I'm going to bring it forward into my turtle pose. It's going to get into a little bit more of the outer glutes. A little bit more of that low back. If you want to go a little bit deeper, we can take the palms underneath, arms coming underneath the knee joints and finding that fold. But again, we get a lot just from this forward fold. Never force anything, especially in that low back. Don't force any sort of like jerks or anything. Big breath in. Let it go. Chin is tucked. Getting into those hips. One more big breath here. Exhale, unwind, send those legs long. Little bit of butt walking here, my favorite. So we're starting to walk the glutes back on our mat, and then we'll walk them forward. So just a little release in the hips, a little strength through the glutes. So we did a lot of stretching. Now we're doing a little bit of strengthening through those SI joints, through those hip joints. Beautiful. I really like this one. It really helps release my low back. Beautiful. About 10 more seconds to play around with this one. Have a little fun. Hands can kind of go wherever you want. They can be at heart. They can bounce along with you. They can go on your thighs. And then making your way back out to the top of that mat. Nicely done. Big inhale up. Exhale, reach forward. Not into a bend, just into a straight arm position. Inhale. Exhale, one vertebrae at a time. We are rolling down to the floor. Beautiful. Nicely done. Take a second to walk those feet back towards your hips. Just a little glute bridge to stretch the front of the thighs. Inhale, squeeze the glutes up. Heels pulling back energetically. Hip bones pulling together in the front. If you'd like, you can bring the shoulders under the back. Clasp the palms. Open up to the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Whew. Starting to shimmy your shoulders out from underneath your body, lowering down that spine. Knees hugging into the chest, rock side to side. First time we've been on our back all day. Pretty wild. Go ahead and reaching for either the thighs or the outside of your feet. Let's just find a little happy baby here. Rocking side to side. Finding that resistance between leg and hand, maybe opening one leg and then the other, just seeing how everything feels here. Big breath into the belly and exhale, softening in the shape. Nicely done. Releasing the feet to the mat. Take your feet wide and then let your legs knock center and really take a second to get your back nice and flat on the floor. So turtle pose, we really got into the outer hips in that external rotation. This one really brings it into that internal rotation through the hips, just releasing. Then that lumbar spine, top of the sacrum. Arms can go to cactus. They can give yourself a hug. They can just sort of sit on your heart and your tummy. And slowly bring your legs back to neutral. Right arm stretches behind the right thigh. If you have a strap, you're welcome to take it around the thigh here. We're just going to lengthen through that right leg. And just take little circles through the ankle. And other direction. And flex the foot and point the foot, getting a little mobility at this ankle joint. Flex and point. Good. One more. Flex and point. And then let both legs fall over to the left. Again, if you have history of low back, go ahead and put a block or a pillow or skip it all together. Taking a couple big rounds of breath all the way into this beautiful twisting posture. Eyes over to the right. Right shoulder anchors down so we're never cranking so hard on our spine that our shoulder leaves the ground. Just nice and supported here. Closing the eyes, just noticing how the body feels, how the breath feels. We created a little bit of heat today. A lot of these past mobility Sundays have been a lot gentler. And gently help yourself come back to that center position. Again, option to grab a strap or just reach behind the back of that left leg, supporting that left leg as the sits bones are on the floor, low back is on the floor. Bring a little bit of a roll, a circle into that ankle. Other direction. Nicely done. And bending at, or excuse me, flex and extend. I almost skipped it on you. Flex and extend. Really articulating through the fascia of the foot, right? It's not just a sort of passive move. We're feeling the stretch all the way from the base of the heel up through the toe mound into the toes, all those little articulations. And then bend at the leg. Gently let your legs fall to the right. Cactusing through the left. Again, maybe bringing a block or pillow underneath the legs just to really support yourself here. Eyes to the left, shoulder is down. No yanking. Big breath in and exhale, soften it, let it go. Maybe noticing how this side is different from the other, or different from when we started today. Inhale, bringing the knees back through center, giving yourself a nice big hug, maybe even bringing yourself into a tiny, tiny little ball. Big breath in, everything squeezes. And then exhale, let yourself control down to Shavasana. Taking up space on your mat, letting the shoulders roll way down your back, feet come wide, arms come wide. And then just closing down those eyes, settling here in your space. Letting your mind just take a few moments of stillness. Not quiet, just stillness. As thoughts start to pop up, and they probably will, rather than panicking and sort of trying to like wish them away because we're meditating, just label them thought and let them pop like a little bubble. If you find that your mind is particularly busy, giving yourself the mantra of breathing in the word here and breathing out the word now. Inhale, we breathe in here. Exhale now. Keeping the eyes closed, start to bring a little bit of movement back to the body, fingers and toes. Start to deepen the breath. Gently rolling yourself to one side or the other, finding that fetal position. And keeping the eyes closed as you find your way into a seat of your choice that feels good on your body. Maybe a pillow under the hips, maybe legs go long and straddle. Maybe it's a kneel, maybe it's a cross leg. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, drawing down the thumbs past the third eye, past the lips, past to the heart. Tuck the chin gently, just taking a moment to feel gratitude rather, for showing up for your body in this way. For creating a little heat, bringing stability into all of our beautiful joints and limbs and muscles. Thank you so much for being here today. It's always a joy to flow with you in person and to have you watch it later. Big breath in through the nose, filling all the way up. Hold at the top. Sip in a little bit more air. Exhale, let it go with a sigh. Whew. The light and the teacher in me honors, respects, and loves the light and the teacher in you. Namaste. Take care of your beautiful bodies until next Sunday and beyond. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.